Alrighty, Dean. So I got on top what we did last week, and then also on the bottom what we did this week. And I'm just kind of going to compare them and talk real quick just what we worked on in this past lesson, and really what I noticed between this week and last week. So I'm just going to play them real quick for you. Okay, so let's get a breakdown of it real quick. So first of all, obviously, the number one thing that we need to point out is the quick hands, right? We talked about last week, the difference between the load and, being firm and having a strong backhand. I mean, for example, take a look at this versus this. This one on the bottom here is a lot stronger than the top one is. The top one, what'll happen, like we talked about, you'll tend to drop your hands like that and then have it come back up versus if we notice from, the bottom one, we stay all the way back and we can more kind of ride that baseball out where we want to be. So that's something that you did a really great job on. Another thing that I really want to talk about to this point, if I were to take a look real quick after I clear everything at your hips, right? Take a look at your hips in both these videos, right? So the first one, your hip is a lot more kind of just going along with the motion versus, the bottom one, you're really focusing on, driving that hip. And as you kind of notice, take a look real quick at your finish positions as I clear these. We have this position right here, and then we have this position right here. And if I were to ask, which one is stronger, obviously you're going to say the bottom one. And that's what we really want because we want a strong base whenever we hit. So I feel you did a really great job there. I feel like we could probably straighten out just a little bit this front leg, but to be honest, we can continue to work on that. And then finally as well, the last thing that we really worked on last week is kind of this between here, our spacing between, our arms and obviously our torso. If we look here, there's a lot of space on the top, which is making us fly our hips out like this, right? Instead of staying connected like on the bottom here. And that's helping us, number one, keep square to the baseball. But number two, it's getting us in a position that you're making contact right here, right? And notice that you are a lot more square right here versus right here, right? And that we can really take this baseball straight back, which we've been working on, versus, with this one where on the top where, we're just kind of letting our shoulders kind of fly. Notice that we were either pulling it or we were sending it on a grounder down to the right side and taking it opposite field versus, like we talked about with, points of attack. With this, our point of attack is right out front of the plate, which is taking us to go straight up the middle with the baseball, which you did on that bottom one there. And then we also worked a little bit on your tilt, which I feel like you have really great tilt right here versus on this. I feel like you're a lot stronger with your swing as well. I mean, just take a look between the two. The first on the top one, it's a lot loose. It's a lot looser, obviously, but it's not firm like the bottom one versus, if I were to take a look at the top for the bottom one and you were to ask me, where am I going to get the most contact out of, or rather, where am I going to get the most power from and the best result from, I'm definitely going to say the bottom, just because, number one, we are connected so much better on that bottom one here. But also, at the same time, we're not tense, we're firm. And that's something I think you've done a terrific job of kind of adjusting to. And obviously, we're going to keep working from there. But really, I kind of wanted to make this video so you can kind of see, the difference what 1 week makes in working on something. And obviously, how we're going to keep applying that going forward. So, Dean, great stuff. Keep me updated. I believe you said you had a scrimmage this Friday, or rather today. So keep me updated how that goes, and we'll see you next week.